There is no room on the platform for being a good person, a kind person. There's no room for it. There's no room for having an opinion, that's for damn sure. And there's no room for conversation. So where are we headed in this country and in this world while big titty bikini models are wearing bikinis in our faces and saying that that's democracy? Not really sure what part of that in your mental illness, this mental illness, that you think it's okay, Bill Gates, to fuel your version of existing when you're a fucked up piece of shit. What in your fucking mind thinks that your way of living is the way that we're supposed to think and live? Now, this person over here brings awareness to your sickness, and then you come back at it trying to steal what I have to say, and then make it as if it's control. You want to control people. You don't understand because you ain't brave enough to really have real conversations because you're too worried about your reputation and getting caught for all the things that you've done to people in the history of your existence. You used to be a little baby crawling on your knees, and now you're a little old man crawling on your knees, begging that you don't get uncovered, Bill Gates, Anschutz, Soros. Because in order to be a billionaire in the way you're a billionaire, as you fucked some people over, including KILLED them. And in your world, that's legal. And that's what Kamala Harris is preparing for. That's why my shit isn't on the main stage, is because you would try to KILL me because I'm effective in conversation and getting people back into their bodies and thinking for themselves. In the old days, we had two candidates who would talk policy. A Democrat like JFK Jr., who is now Republican, or independent, I'm not real sure which. And then there's the Republican, which currently is Donald Trump. Now, if we had JFK and Donald Trump running against each other, that would make 100% sense, and they would have idea to idea, which is policy to policy, to engage in the advancement of their ideas to assist humanity. However, your stupid pieces of shit asses are so self-centered in your influencer that you want to be able to tell people how you feel, but nobody gives a shit how you feel. So in order to get people to care how you feel, you force gimmicks on them, and you get unsuspecting, playing into vulnerabilities, acting erratically, and causing car wrecks and train wrecks to cause outbursts of gaslighting as a collective new norm in society, which you think is a weakness. However, what you did was you strengthened America, and you definitely strengthened JFK Jr., who is now independent Republican, who supports Donald Trump. And what we're doing is we're exposing the liberals out of San Francisco and all of California and what we've been talking about for years, and how celebrities have either been controlled by this nastiness of Bill Clinton and the CIA and the clandestine operation, while working with foreign governments who are part of that clandestine operation, reminding you in that movie Mission Impossible Part 1, the names of our CIA agents and our agents were sold, possibly to the Middle East, putting our citizens' lives at risk. However, according to Kamala Harris, like Benghazi, she doesn't give two shits. So how are we going to send our soldiers over to foreign lands without them trusting in the government, while they're trying to protect Americans with someone like Kamala Harris, who, by the way, is not American, she's Indian? While sick people are TRANS sitting next to them, causing complete unrest and uncomfort, so that they can feel like a woman because they want to buy makeup because Rihanna needs to be a billionaire. And so does Kim Kardashian. That's what her dream is. Your dream is to be a billionaire. That's the new American dream for all these little shits. So when you take a look at all these things that the Democrats / liberals are up to, it's bullshit. It's stupid. It's taking the artistry out of the artistry, meaning we've watched a decline in Beyonce's music. We're watching a decline in music and movies. No one's interested in watching TV anymore because it's filth. It's garbage. It's not real to life. It's all this weird script of Chat GTP. And you're going to tell me that you rioted in the streets, you got absolutely nothing done. You just got a bigger paycheck or whatever dumb pretend deal that they wanted to lie to you about. The only reason you rioted in the street wasn't for your riders, it was for yourselves. Example is every movie that's coming out now is like watching a robot perform. Example would be the new movie coming out with Chris Evans and Chris Rock. No longer is it engaging or interesting to watch that shit because Kamala Harris is running Hollywood. It's embarrassing. A quality group of people, men specifically, who are able to be strong men, and that's what women want. And now they're being trained by Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg because they're lesbos, who are insecure about themselves and unable to have real conversations with intellect, or they get called out and what they would call shamed. And instead of trying to learn more new skills, they just learned how to bully their way into the minds of women to disrespect humanity. And women love digging at the men who cheated on them with the woman that caused it, when they were the evil ones living in bitter existence because they couldn't generate life on their own and realized that it was time to move on to someone else. So instead they married them because they wanted the money or the stability that particular person brought to them. And so then they lived in misery, which was their own fucking fault. And then they started hating all men because he then cheated on her with someone like Mona Vand, where he then bragged about it in her face. And then she instigated more illness in the minds of everyone. And he just stood there and said nothing, to where the woman became more angry and more angry and more angry and more angry. And he did nothing. And this is literally the example of how women behave and why we're in this situation with Joy Behar. Because men aren't willing to stand up to women. And women do nothing but violate other women. And then get in clusters of violent women to abuse other women who actually have something to offer. And then they lie their fucking way to the fucking top while you stupid ass men don't even look to see the fucking truth. And that's the fucking reality of what we're dealing with. Too busy worried about how you look with your hair and fucking makeup, what your house looks like. And then you're going to tell us that that's leadership? Well, you talk nonsense and garbage with no substance. You offer absolutely fucking nothing. But look at how much she can bully. Look at how much she can bully. And that's what men look for in a woman, and that's why we're in this situation. Because I don't know how many advancements in my career that I've been overlooked on because you decided to go with a prostitute bitch over me as a manager, over me as such and such. Or how many women that you've chosen over me because they had bigger tits and were willing to be the sweet, kind woman on the surface and an evil cunt bitch underneath, Gary V. While you stand there and you smile and say, wow, I'm so friendly. I'm going to tell you right now, you ain't fucking friendly. Proof, and I have it on fucking video. What a fucking scoundrel. All of you involved in this shit. The man who stood in front of me and held my bag for me while Peg Moore stood in front of me while you said, I love you. That is more examples of a group of men attacking little old me instead of having the fucking balls to have the conversation when you are the one with fucking power, you stupid prick. That's because you had money and you had platform, you stupid motherfucker. So you better get it in your fucking head who you actually became in this fucking journey. Because you sure as hell turned your fucking back on the real shit right here, bitch. And that's how you talk to a fucking man who fucking abused the fuck out of you. Not, joy, uplift, look at my hair and makeup. I'm gonna go bitch and moan to my friends behind his back, and then I'm gonna bitch and moan to his face. Fuck you, dude. My life is more valuable